Hey everyone, welcome back to the Indie Basketball Podcast. This is where indie rock meets the NBA's finest. And today, my guest is Matt Scottoline. He is from the band Hurry, and they're from Philadelphia. They have a new album out. It's called Zoned Out, and it just released. And surprise, surprise, he's a Sixers fan, so it's a good time for him to join us and talk about all things going on with the Jaylen Brown trade and the outlook for the future. But the first thing I want to talk about is a band that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And the question that really came across my head was, like, have you ever had a band that you really loved, that you felt were like so promising that they were going to blow up and then they were going to get huge, and then they just kind of were gone? Well, even more so, I feel like now there's even no evidence of them being there in the first place. The band specifically that I'm talking about is a band from the Chicago area around the mid to late 2000s, and they were called Wax on Radio. They made this really amazing indie alternative rock that infused elements of emo, post-rock, prog, and it had this little psychedelia to it without sounding too kitschy. They kind of fit into that subgenre of like the Circus Survives, Murder by Death even, the Deer Hunter, even a little bit of Mars Volta in there, or even another Chicago band that is also criminally underrated, the Felix Culpa. So with Wax on Radio, after an EP release, they toured locally, they were starting to get some buzz. They released an album called Exposition, and it was their one and only full length. That CD was so great for me. It was camped out in my 92 Acura Legend, and I was playing that thing on repeat. But one thing I loved about watching them play was Mikey Russell, the guitarist. He was a lefty, but he didn't buy a lefty guitar. He took a righty and flipped it upside down, and that's actually how he learned how to play. And apparently, Dick Dale also learned this way. He didn't restring it upside down. He learned how to play upside down, which I always found fascinating to watch. So take a listen to the song from the album Exposition. This one's called When in Rome. Song. I see a lot of comparisons to like a later, emo band, Moving Mountains, some of the tone there. Really loved it. They broke up in 2008 due to the usual casualty of creative differences within a band. They all kept playing music afterwards, albeit none in some major bands, but Mikey played in Camp Dogs and a band called Sons. Luke played in Meadowlarks. Bob Buckstaff, he's been in a band called Mutts, but it's been nearly 20 years since they've been a band, and a lot of stuff has changed in the music industry since. Streaming has become ever so popular, and the thing that really was kind of drawing attention to me is, after all these years, no digital versions of that album have gone up online. You can't buy it digitally. It's not on streaming, has not been on streaming. The only way you'll find it is, I've seen the occasional upload to YouTube. So yeah, I will find myself on YouTube listening to those tracks every now and then. But I really would love that to come on streaming. I tweet out to the heavens every year, calling for anyone to have information on how to get Wax on Radio on Apple Music or any streaming platform, but nothing. So I think that's what's crazy about that digital age of the mid to late 2000s is, people were figuring out how to move into digital video, digital music, and we kind of didn't know what we were doing. So we got a lot of stuff where we honestly don't have evidence of some of these things anymore. If you look at NBA clips from that era, they're hilariously low quality. All sports clips, video from that time. And then local bands who didn't know what they were doing with, the ownership of digital music, uh, including my high school band who wasn't any good, but I don't have that music anymore. It's gone. Um, and it sucks. It's weird to have this whole era kind of lost in transition to a new era. So that's just kind of where I'm at with Wax on Radio. I would love to get that on streaming. This is my yearly call out. If anyone knows the people in Wax on Radio or Downtown Records, and potentially there was not alignment between those two, um, would love to get some Wax on Radio on streaming so I can keep on listening and not have YouTube open to catch it. But someday I hope those dudes are able to share some music again. So with all that said, you know, today my musical guest is Matt from Hurry. He does not have that problem. He is still making music. He is making lots of music. And over the years, he's made plenty, and he's got a new one that just released, and we're going to talk about it. So let's get to my interview with Matt. What's up, man?
Not much. Thanks for doing this. I was like really jealous of Tommy when he did it, and I was
Yeah,
like, man, I want to be that because it's just sort of like my two main interests.
I mean, that's the gold standard. That's why why we do this.
What's
Um,
your are are we roll? I was just gonna ask like what's your story? Like
yeah,
what what's your quick history to like this point now?
specifically with indie basketball.
Well, I don't, yeah, I guess so. Or like, I mean, give me more. You can give me as much as you want.
Yeah, I mean, I played basketball until like sophomore year of high school, and then I realized I wasn't athletic enough to keep doing it. Um, I played in bands in high school. I was never very successful at either of the things. Um, I started indie basketball. It was a Tumblr account in 2011, 2010,
Hmm.
while I was in college, and I would just do the memes of like, mashing up band names with players.
Okay.
Um, and I got kind of popular on Tumblr. I had like 8,000 followers or something like that. And then I ran out of ideas. I got busy. I stopped, but then pandemic, I was like, let's just do it on Instagram now. Um, so I started doing it on there, and then a lot of people started following again, and the Discord is really cool because like it's a lot of people like us. Tommy's in there, and
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Tommy's a big Discord guy.
he is. Um, and I'm like I can do a podcast because a lot of bands started following me. Um, so that started
That's
off, and
great.
then one of the people's like a videographer that then one of the became friends with him, and he's like we came up with the idea for half court sessions. So like it keeps on growing. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's great. Super cool.
It's yeah, I don't know. It's fun to do. It's time consuming, but it's fun.
How many do you record like maybe not weekly, but like what's your like
I'm
schedule?
kind of weekly lately. Um,
Cool.
yeah, I've been pretty steadily weekly for a while. Um, pretty much in the past couple of months with I had a break right after the Guy Picciotto episode. Um, and then yeah, it's off season. I kind of want to take a little break in a
Yeah,
little bit, but
totally.
no, it's fun, dude. I just like talking to musicians about basketball. That's all it is.
Hell yeah.
But you have a new album under your solo project, Hurry, which is kind of turned into like a full band, right?
Yeah, it is still technically a solo project
Sure,
because I still write it all and
yeah,
like but but yeah, we're like a regular old rock band at this point.
sure. Um, cool. Well, the first thing I like to ask people when they join is it's a little tip off question. I want to know what you've been listening to.
Oh. So I've been listening. This is gonna be like potentially like lame and then like we're just gonna go spiraling down the drain answer, as I've been listening to a lot of Beach Boys.
So have I actually. No, that's
Really?
it's it's it's
What are
summertime
you
music, man.
well, yeah, well also I don't know like if you follow it, but a couple months ago they released this box set. The Beach Boys released this box set digitally and on vinyl and stuff for it's called We Gotta Groove, and it focuses on the sort of mid to late 70s when Brian Wilson sort of like emerged from his drug induced like hibernation and like, you know, near death experience, and like they made this huge deal of like Brian's back because the band was kind of floundering for a while. And the albums that he made are just like so crazy, and they're like Brian Wilson solo albums, and it's some of the most like incredible music I've ever heard, but like strange stuff. And they put this box set out, and I just listened to it, and I was like obsessive. So then I've just like fully gone. I'm like lost in the sauce, and I'm just like listening to like all of the records that most normal people don't even know exist, and like getting stuck in the lore and reading books, and so it's
He's
this
an
like
interesting
newfound
dude.
obsession. Yeah, it's um so that I've been kind of stuck in that. But I'm trying to think of like a cooler answer. I really like that new the Weezer song with
Oh,
the singer
Wednesday.
of Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
unexpected. Yeah,
It just rocks.
I think I think Rivers is. I'm trying to determine if Rivers is actually like interested in bands or if he just gets fed shit.
Well, I think it's a little of both.
Yeah.
Like I think he is I'm speaking off like one anecdote I know, which is like when the album Everything Will Be Alright in the End came out, and they had that song Go Away, which like just went viral again recently. It had Bethany from Best Coast as like the guest
Yeah.
vocalist on it. But when they did that tour, they did a small club tour, which was really cool. And they played this like small room. I don't know the cap. It's like probably less than 1,000 cap room in Philadelphia. Um, and but in every city, they were getting a local female musician to like do the part. And I knew the person who did the Philly one.
Cool.
And but the story that you know, it was, I guess it wasn't definitive, but the story felt a little bit like someone cooler than Rivers on the team was
Yeah.
like, what's the cool band in the city? And like, you know, found the person. And then um, when they met Rivers, like it was sort of like unclear how familiar he may or may not have
Sure.
been. But I also feel like he earnestly likes it too. Like I don't think it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he's like, get me the new hot singer and we'll
Right.
like make a hit
Like
song.
when he
Like I
performed
think
with
he
Olivia Rodrigo at Lollapalooza.
yeah. But I think like when he's presented with an Olivia Rodrigo, or like
Yeah.
I get the impression that he's like, this is awesome and I
Yeah, for
love
sure.
like cool new
I
stuff.
mean, in the same style where Elton John has that Apple Music podcast, and I'm
Hmm.
like, naive me is like, whoa, Elton John likes Barty Strange. I'm like, oh wait,
Yeah,
no, but I'm sure he listens and he's like, oh, this is cool.
totally. And I think there's a lot of people like that. And I get it.
Yeah,
Like it's hard to keep up. And I
it
think
really is.
especially when you're like from that like I mean Elton John and Rivers Cuomo are not the same generation, but either of their generations, you know. And I just think the older you get in general, it's harder to like totally keep up.
Maybe there's more similarities between Elton John and Rivers Cuomo than we think.
Yeah, that is interesting.
um,
I'm not going to speak to that, but
yeah, no.
it's
I think so. I guess in line with you talking about the kind of Philly guests, I'm curious. I know you're obviously from Philly yourself. Who are some bands in Philly that you think more people should know about?
um you know the first person that popped into my head is this is going to sound so insane. His name is Matt, which is funny because we're all Matts here. Um but he has a band called Lowercase Roses that I think is really
Mm-hmm.
cool, and I feel like they're a little like under the radar. Not that we aren't. I'm not trying to even place myself above under the radar, um but Matt is not like a big self promoter. I feel like a lot of his online presence is him being like, I don't know how to promote this, but I
Right,
love
right.
making songs. And
I believe I put one
um,
of his songs on one of our playlists a couple like
oh,
months
really?
ago. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know why he popped into my head.
sure.
And oh, what is? Hang on, I want to get the name right because it's a new band. Um, Public Beach. Do you know?
Oh,
Have you heard of the band Public Beach in
no.
Philadelphia? They're newer. But it's this guy Mike Paulshock who is a friend. He's actually like filled in for us at shows
Oh,
before
cool.
on guitar. Um, but it's a really great like if you're into like Weezer and stuff, like it's just like
Nice.
really good poppy rock music with like virtuoso guitar parts, and it's just like it's really cool stuff under the radar as well. Um,
Awesome.
but I don't know. Everyone else I feel like everybody knows, so they don't
Yeah,
need my help.
yeah. So, and we talked before about, we both know Tommy and you were in Everyone Everywhere. How do you go from, a band like that, more in like that emo world, to making solo work like Hurry, which is definitely more melodic indie rock sounding stuff? Like, what was there a distinct kind of like effort you wanted to put in? Like, I want to do the opposite.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, when everyone everywhere when we were like super active and doing a lot, I really wasn't making music on my own at all. I had made a little music on my own before Everyone Everywhere. And actually all of us except Tommy because he didn't grow up with us, but like me, Brendan and Brendan, we all went to high school together and we all had a band in high school as well that like I did a lot of songwriting for and like was the singer for. Um, so like I had it in me, but whenever when we were doing stuff, I just wasn't writing because
Yeah,
all the writing I was doing, we wrote all those songs pretty collaboratively, like just together. Um, so but then, as that band started winding down, we never like called it or anything, but it was just like shows got more and more spaced out and we weren't living in the same cities anymore and like so I was just getting bored. I was like getting antsy because like I have the type of brain where if I'm not like making something or like writing, I start to like feel really itchy, you know?
sure. Yeah,
So so yeah, and I played bass in Everyone Everywhere, which I'd never played bass in a band before. And so I missed playing guitar too. So I just started writing these like the early Hurry stuff was like really simple songs and just like on guitar. I was using fake drums in my computer and but so yeah, it kind of just came from one like not just being a little bored and also just like having that desire, but like none of us were like huge emo people. Well, I wasn't. A lot of us we liked some of that stuff, but like we kind of came to our sound really naturally,
sure.
and I think like even if you listen to our high school band where Brendan, the same guy, was like playing guitar, um, a lot of the way he wrote guitar parts sort of drove a lot of the tone, I think,
Hmm.
because they're just sort of specific. Um, and Tommy as well in Everyone Everywhere, but that's all just to say that like we very rarely we didn't feel like we warranted association with like the emo scene, you
Yeah,
know?
he mentioned that as well, and I feel like it's really interesting how sometimes it's almost like you're not intentionally writing songs to be a certain way, but by nature of the bands you end up playing with, you kind of
Totally.
start to feel like you're just grouped into there.
Yeah, and I mean, not to say we didn't all enjoy like American
Yeah,
football records and
right.
stuff,
Of course.
but I just remember like we would like laugh a lot and like even make fun of some of the comparisons we would get. And I distinctly remember this when we were on one of our tours and we played a show and somebody was like saying, "Oh, you guys sound so much like Piebald." And we were like, none of us have ever heard that band before. and they like gave us a piebald CD from their car, and they were like, "Listen to this." And I remember we put it on, and we were like, "We don't like this," and like that was always kind of the vibe. And we were a little bit of like bad boys too, I
Sure,
think.
sure.
But yeah, I just think like at that time when I started writing on my own, I was just like getting really into actually the first Best Coast record had come out around that time, and like um there was just that like kind of new wave. A little bit was like dream poppy stuff, but that like captured tracks era of like indie rock that
Yeah.
was starting to happen.
I feel like I was
And
really into like Yuck at that time.
Yuck, exactly, Yuck.
Yeah.
And like that was a huge influence on me. Max from Yuck actually did the album art for our new record.
Awesome. Nice.
And you know, we I ended up doing like hurry tours with Yuck and stuff. That was like they were like a tent pole for me. That first, and I like I'm one of those people that thinks the second Yuck record is better than the first one.
I yeah. What Glow and Behold, right?
Yeah, Glow and
I
Behold.
love that album. Middle C is my
No
favorite, one
way.
of my favorite songs to play like in the summer with the windows down.
Oh my God, that album is so good. That album changed my life. And I tell Max all the time. I wish Max liked basketball because I would
Yeah.
be like, get on this podcast. But because uh he feels really like down in the dumps about that record. I'm like, dude, that record is
No, it's great.
incredible.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
And
like that one.
now Oscar nominee.
I know, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. He won.
He did win. You're right.
Daniel, he won. He won the
Yeah.
Oscar.
So crazy.
What? Yeah, what was the movie called? I feel like we
The
should tell people
Brutalist.
listening. The Brutalist. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know.
So
I love the score. It's an amazing score.
yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, like that's what was like kind of driving my inspiration at the time for sure.
And now with Zoned Out coming out, like what do you feel like is, between the first solo album you did and this, where do you feel like you're leaning now?
Well, I had a shift happen like I forget when it was, maybe like when I was making my second or third Hurry record, but I got introduced to Teenage Fan Club, which like was not really on my radar in like the Everyone Everywhere days and the time shortly after that. But my Rob DeCarolis, who plays drums in Hurry, he one day he's like a music like a rock guru kind of guy. He shows me stuff all the time, but he was like, a lot of these songs kind of remind me of Teenage Fan Club, and I was like, well, what's that? And so I sort of just like fell into that. I went similar to my Beach Boys obsession right now. I was just like so into Teenage Fan Club and like Bandwagon-esque and Grand Prix and Songs from Northern Britain and like all those records. I was just like, I can't believe this is out there because this is just like how I want music to sound all the time. Um, and I think like that is definitely where I got to, and like now with Jerry on the record has come like almost full circle.
Yeah, awesome. I feel like, yeah, it's definitely kind of leaning into more of that power pop a little bit. Do you feel like you actively are leaning more towards like kind of melodic poppy stuff versus kind of where you were with Everyone Everywhere stuff?
Yeah, I mean, right
Beach
now,
Boys
for
coming off.
yeah, yeah, right. I mean, um, you know, I still, yeah, but I think a lot of it, I honestly think it's age related, like, and not even in the sense that like I'm old and I don't like know about anything cool. I don't necessarily mean it that way, but you know, I think when you're younger, again, I'm speaking for myself, but like in your 20s and you're going to like house shows all the time and you're with all these other like young artists and like everything is so exciting and like it's you know, I think there's definitely something about that time where it's so much easier to find new things um and that's not to say I don't find new things now, but I think a lot of the stuff that's more in the emo world or that like underground kind of like punk, whatever you want to just
Yeah,
describe
yeah.
that scene as, like it's I do still think it's primarily a scene of like younger people and like
Yeah,
stuff that I'm not invited to until like someone tells me about it.
sure.
And so like so yeah, I mean, I still try to like keep up with a lot of like the punk end of the spectrum. I'm not just
Yeah.
like jamming out to like weird Beach Boys music, but yeah, it is like tricky. I'm not as familiar, and I don't keep up as well as I
I
used
mean,
to.
yeah, what I hear with Hurry is almost like, maritime to Promise Ring.
Oh yeah, that's pretty apt. I like
Yeah.
that.
And I feel like, it's like, it's a completely different world. It's a completely different zone. And almost you can argue that Davey felt more comfortable playing maritime stuff.
I do think, yeah, and that's the other thing too is like I'm not saying this is why everyone everywhere slowed down because there were other like real factors, but we were all sort of moving in different directions because
Sure.
when you're like in your mid late 20s like you're just like learning stuff, and
Totally.
like
That's why that
so
genre kind of
like
exists.
and like there's famous stories. We never like really fought or argued or anything. It was
Yeah.
a very peaceful band. But like we would be writing songs and there's a song on the second Everyone Everywhere record that's like pretty jammy and it's like one long part. And I remember at that time like some of us were like really into Yo La Tengo and we were like listening to like I think it was right around when the album Fade came out and there were a lot of songs on that record that were like drony and long and like so, but anyway, my point is we like wrote the song, we finished like running through the song, and a few of us were like, man, that's the best song we've ever written.
Yeah.
And then I remember like someone else in the band was like, that's the worst song we've ever written. And I think like that just shows like how your tastes just naturally evolve a little bit. So it's not to say I was like uncomfortable when we were doing Everyone Everywhere. I really loved writing those songs and playing those songs, but towards the end of it, I was like, it would be if I had complete control over Everyone Everywhere, we probably would have started writing poppier songs.
For sure. And I mean, by the time this episode comes out, Zoned Out will be out.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
right.
so it'll, I've loved the singles that I've listened to. I'm excited to listen to more. But yeah,
They didn't
I
send you
know
the record. I gotta send you the record.
they may have. I need to dig
Okay.
through my email. um, but what also is great is I know you and some of the dudes from Everyone Everywhere still text about basketball a lot, and you still play basketball, right?
Me and Tommy, yeah. One of the other guys sometimes plays the games that we play, like in
Are
our
you
little
in
like
low
pickup
skill
situation.
basketball?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Um, but yeah, so me and Tommy still play together pretty
nice.
regularly. Um, and yeah, we have three of the four of us are in a group chat that's like pretty
Yeah,
basketball focused.
nice. When you play, what position are you rocking? Like, what's your play type?
I'm on the perimeter. I honestly like feel like this is like self-deprecating, but I'm like Sixers tenure PJ Tucker, like I'm out there. I think I'm contributing a lot on defense.
Sure.
Um and I can shoot. Like I'm just not I'm not comfortable with my layup package, so I'm not trying it very often is
Are you
sort of
being
how I
vocal?
play.
You vocal out there?
Not real. I'm a supportive teammate. I'm congratulating people. I'm cheering them on. Um, I'm yelling when I'm open and people aren't passing to
Yeah.
me. But but I'll have my games. I have some games where I'm knocking them down. I have some other games where nothing goes in, but
Sure.
that's how it goes.
Man.
So yeah,
I've
I'm like I try to really put in good work on defense.
Yeah. I'm terrified every time I touch the court. I'm gonna tear an ACL or something.
Well, that's the other thing. Like I'm it's called low skill basketball, but there's still people in it who are like working a lot harder than I am. Um, but I'm that's the other thing is like I just don't want to get hurt, and
Yeah,
I'm old enough now where it's
yeah.
like it clearly could happen at any moment. So
Right.
that's the other reason like I'm not like driving into the paint and trying to like do anything.
Yeah.
Like I just am like safely creating space for myself.
Well, we'll have to count you in for the inevitable indie basketball tournament.
Oh, Tommy and we've talked about it. And
Okay.
I'm gonna be there.
Two on two. It's
What
gotta happen.
What's your deal on the court? What are you doing?
I mean, I'm 6'5", so
Oh,
I'm
no way.
I'm in the post. I'm
Okay.
boards and pick and roll is
Six
where I
five is
live.
good. That's good
Yeah.
for like
For pickup it's good.
recreational play.
Yeah, yeah.
You're an
And
asset.
I'm, I'm 270, dude. I'll throw people around a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want you on my team.
Yeah.
There's one guy in low skill basketball in our which for people listening that don't know what we're talking about, it's just like what Tommy called this like group of people that plays basketball together. But there's this one guy, Jake, who is also, I don't know how tall he is. He's at least 6'5", I would guess. And yeah, I'm always like, I really hope Jake's on my team. Like,
Yeah.
because when you have that kind of height on your team and pick up basketball, you have such an advantage.
Truly, yeah. Because people are gonna try and collapse, on the after you're getting the rebounds, and then that leaves a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people open on the perimeter.
Can you put him back? Are you like pretty good under there?
I wish I was better. Let's just,
Yeah,
just say that.
we all do.
Um, but that comes with, I just need to get out there more frequently.
Hit the gym. You got to hit the gym.
I know, because I did for the 100th episode, Tommy convinced me to do 100 free throws. And so I did it, and
Did
I
you
shot
film
like
it?
I did. I posted it, and I shot like
Okay.
30% maybe. I lost count. But you know what? I was filming a half court session last week, and I was making a lot more. So I just
Really?
feel like repetition. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other hindrance I have is that I play once a week inconsistently. So, there's not a lot of
That's
like,
not infrequent.
well,
I've
it's
played like
infrequent enough to
quarterly,
like
maybe.
to get your shot better. It's
Yeah.
still, I don't want to discourage you more, but it's not enough.
Yeah. Luckily with my size, I don't have to worry about my shot. I just gotta get free throws and work on putbacks.
Yeah, because you can tell like Tommy's one of those guys who plays more than one night a week,
Yeah,
and you can tell, he's
sure.
just like he's much better than me.
Well, let's talk about uh, the bigger Philly basketball league.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Sixers because
What is that? Yeah.
yeah, it's obviously an interesting time for you to be joining me today
Oh wait, where
because
are you before I
I'm in
talk about that?
Chicago.
Like, oh, okay. And you're
You don't.
A Bulls guy?
I'm a Bulls guy. Don't worry, I'm not from Boston. You can talk crap about Boston.
Yeah, I was honestly more worried you would be from New York.
I lived in New York for a little bit, but no,
Okay.
I am not a Knicks fan. I was rooting for the Spurs. Um, but yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown. I gotta know. So like, when you saw the news drop, what was your initial reaction?
I was shocked.
Yeah,
Um, just I mean, I think when I thought about Paul George and his contract, my best case scenario was sort of what like the leaks have said they were trying to do, which is just like salary dump him for like whoever, and just like give away whatever draft capital you need to. Just have anybody take this contract. Um, and I didn't even fully expect that to happen because like even for me, even trying to like craft the scenarios of like the teams that would make sense for, I just like couldn't totally do it. It felt like it
yeah.
required some amount of leaps.
I mean,
Um,
clearly Giannis was very close to happening.
that's true. To Boston, you mean?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what
but
it seemed.
like
It seems like it was really close.
Giannis for Jaylen Brown, pretty much. But I don't know what the disconnect was.
I listened to the Bill Simmons podcast, and he clearly has some sort of insider at the Celtics, and he was making it sound like the Celtics didn't want to give up everything they wanted. I think they wanted what was it? They just wanted like an extra player and like some draft capital, and I think it was just like too much for them. But um, but yeah, it's just like if I would have never in a million years guessed that like I knew Jaylen Brown was going to get traded because like it seemed really clear that they had like a very toxic situation going. But yeah, I was floored. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it was one of those things where I like saw the Shams text. I was like, I need to make sure this is not fake before I send it to the group chat with Tommy. And I was like, I don't want to look like an idiot and send the fake trade. Um, but yeah, I just never in a million years. I never thought something this good would happen.
It's not quite as bad as Luca, but
It's close.
it's not that far. Yeah.
It's close. It's definitely in the same like caliber of trade.
Yeah. Right. Um
Because it's
bef-
just like, what are they thinking? What do they think? I mean, I know they were between a rock and a hard place, and they probably on some level were just like, we can't have this guy on the team
yeah.
anymore.
Before the
But
trade, what did you think of Jaylen Brown?
I like Jaylen Brown. I'm on record. And even me and Tommy talked about it in the playoff series this year, when the Sixers were playing Boston. We were talking in our group chat how good we think Jaylen Brown is, and how like I think both of us said we thought he should have been MVP. Like
Sure.
because it was like pretty remarkable. I know Boston wins a lot of games because they shoot 8,000 threes and like make a good amount of them, but like um but he was just so good, and he's one of those players that like every time we played them, you always feel like he's about to make whatever shot he's gonna take. Like he just like he's one of those players that I felt tortured by as a Sixer fan watching, but I always like I just really liked the way he played,
Yeah.
you know?
I definitely felt I fell victim to like the media storylines around Jaylen Brown for sure.
Which
Um,
ones?
just the fact that he is, his off court personality is tough to deal with and all this stuff. And I just like, as this trade has happened, the more I've really like dug into Jaylen Brown, it's like, uh, there's there's nothing wrong with him off the court. It's just this perception. Like I've seen a lot of stuff about him literally just being too smart to to
Yeah.
want as your superstar.
He's like a
Um,
scientist or something, right?
he's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Berkeley, and I think there's a lot of shit, like I think he had like a there's something with NASA that like he almost
That's what
had
I'm
like a
thinking of.
scholarship or something.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's
I also
he's
just think
smart.
I think any NBA player with a podcast just automatically
Yes.
gets more shit, you know?
It feels icky when you see an NBA player with a podcast, but I think people kind of take things out of context and they start to think, oh, he's such like a conspiracy theorist, man. He's going after like Stephen A. Smith and like,
Yeah, yeah,
but the
yeah.
thing is, like, he's kind of right. Like all those pundits on ESPN, like they just get paid to blow things out of proportion. So
Totally.
it's I've come around to Jaylen Brown for sure. And he did do one of like the best things ever back in the day when he pulled up to those kids playing street basketball in their driveway and he dunked on them. Did you ever see that clip?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
incredible.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm of the perspective at this point in time as a Sixer fan that everything about him is perfect.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
And
I
as a
love him.
Sixers fan, you have to maintain that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm so high on him
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. I
So
can't believe it.
the other piece, which I don't think is true, is the Sixers remain a quote unquote team in the LeBron hunt.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
he fits a slot for sure that you
I
guys could
mean,
use.
I don't think it's like I think the Sixers are the best chance he has to actually win if he wanted to do that, but it just seems like he just wants to do the Cleveland story. But I don't understand it. I feel like he's just it just seems like it's going to be miserable over there.
You don't like him going back to Cleveland?
I mean, not really. I like James Harden. I'm a James Harden guy, but I just I don't think that team can win a
I
championship.
mean, personally for me, if I'm looking at if this it's got to be the final year. So like if I'm looking at where am I going to play one single year and then retire, if he's going to Philly, like I'm going to look back on that legacy. And that's not just Philly, it's New York. It's if he goes any team that's not Miami or Cleveland, I'm like, I'm looking at that as like, why did you do that?
To try to win. And also, the one thing I'll
He's
say,
won.
he's not going to come here, but if he did, if he was the person who finally came here and got Joel a ring, like it would be one of the greatest sports stories of all time. It would be insane. Can you like if that's how the process ended? I'm not saying like it's not going to happen. I know he's going to Cleveland and he's going to have his like little storybook documentary, but
Yeah,
like um
that's what this all is.
yeah.
It's all for the doc, and it's so
The only thing that
Rich
made
Paul
me
can
think
get
it's
clients.
that well for sure. Yeah. But Rich Paul did say something in that wacky whiteboard
Yeah,
thing where he said if the Knicks hadn't won, LeBron would be a Knick. He would have went right to the Knicks.
and that is the
And
only one where I believe the most because to play in New York City is like,
but
yeah,
if that's the case, then it does make me feel like there's some chance he
sure,
goes somewhere else if he feels like he can win.
yeah. I just think it's not LeBron's personality to play it safe, but he could go to Cleveland, he could do his goodbye tour all season long, be
But
competitive.
does it ruin the first time he went back if he goes back again and like they'd like our first round exit or something? Like
I don't think so.
no.
I think people are, he's hometown guy is going to finish his career at home. I think people are cool with that.
Yeah. But like why is that better than just like doing what Kyle Lowry's doing and just signing your 1 day contract to retire with the team?
Can you imagine LeBron signing a 1 day contract?
Well, like I
He
just
should do a
don't
2 way
like
contract.
do you need to play a whole season to get that effect?
No, no. What if he
Like
works out a deal to like sign with the team with a clause that like you have to trade me to the Cavs at the deadline?
yeah, that would be cool. It would be funny if he like waited until the if he waited till the deadline to sign with any team, like he
Right.
waited as long as possible, and he was just like, "All right, who's in first place?"
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised he never got mentioned with the Pistons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but that's what's so mysterious about the whole
Yeah.
thing, and
Sure.
like, but I think the Sixers just have too much of the stuff he likes right now. They got the Ganzi connection. Rich Paul loves Maxi. LeBron loves Maxi. Like,
Asterisk. Yep.
yeah, LeBron might like Joel. I don't know. Like it's hard to say, but
Yeah.
I
I
think
just, to me, well, I guess I'm curious what you think is how, well, not just LeBron, but how does Jaylen Brown too affect VJ Edgecombe?
oh, I think it's great for him.
You do? Okay.
I think when you're a rookie or a second year player or whatever, I there was footage of like Paul George teaching VJ like some like dribble moves to like create shots at the elbow and stuff. And this whatever this clip was, it was like showing practice footage of Paul George like showing this, and then it was clips from games where VJ used it and like scored. And I just think like because we saw with Maxi too, I think like when Harden was here and Maxi was like really young, I think Harden showed him so much and like developed his game. And I just think the more people like Paul George and like Jaylen Brown that VJ can play with, the better. Like I don't even
Sure.
care if it like takes away scoring opportunities from him because I actually think he's going to get a lot of opportunity because my assumption adding doing what they've done so far this offseason, my assumption is those guys won't all be on the floor together that much in a game. Like I think they're going to stagger them and create a lot of like cool lineup opportunities that way.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. True.
But I don't know. I'm not. Are you? What do you think about the like? What's your?
I
You asked me
wonder
that
if,
question. What do you think?
I wonder if it just gets too crowded. It felt like it was going to be an opportune time to let Tyrese and VJ kind of go off and just like get a lot of minutes, which in the end may not be best for them. I'll admit. But they had a good kind of growth year last year, and VJ kind of impressed off the start. Maxi's obviously become like superstar level. And does Jaylen Brown coming in now be like, yeah, you guys aren't as important anymore?
What I think is interesting is like Maxi is so good off the ball. And I know that like, the little image floating around of the starting lineup, it has Jaylen Brown at the three, but like I wonder, yeah, I just wonder like maybe Maxi won't play point guard like quite as much. At least sometimes. I don't know. Like just to like just to get him off the ball and
Yeah,
see like I don't know what Nick Nurse is gonna do. Maybe Maxi will keep playing 40 minutes a game and like but I also I just assume they know what to do. I'm like not
of
worried
course.
about
I
it because
trust. I trust.
I just like and I also just think like the more good guys you can have on your team the better. Like good players are good, and I don't and but the other thing I'll say is I'm an optimist fan. Like I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
like I'm not a critical fan. I'm like a Homer happy fan. So um
I
contextualize it
that's very
all you want.
amiable.
Yeah.
It's
Um
I admire that a lot. Because as a Bulls fan, it gets tough. It gets tough. But
well
I am
yeah, I mean
feeling good right now.
totally. But I was that like last year I was that way and like Tommy definitely is like a more analytical critical fan, but like last year I was happy as I was so happy with the team. And like even when they were at their in the worst stretch of the year, like before they kind of went on that run before the playoffs, like I was just excited to watch like VJ play and like just like watch my guys, even though like they were probably going to lose. And I think the Sixers like overachieved so much last year.
Yeah.
Like before the season started, even with Paul George, I just feel like the general sentiment for Sixers fans was like they're going to be horrible this year.
Hmm.
And the fact that they won as much as they did and like swept the Celtics in the first or not swept them, but came back from three
Yeah, yeah.
three um to me I was like, man, they overachieved so much, like we should be thrilled that like any of this happened.
I'm really just hoping that it's like that for the Bulls this year, where it's like I have no expectations. They're gonna be fun to watch, and I'm just cool with that.
I don't follow the Bulls super close. I mean, I know we just got Anthony. Um
You did. That's I forget. I almost forgot that too. That's crazy. That's
it's
such a deep
crazy.
team. The Bulls, I
But
mean,
like
are
what
really centered around. We drafted Caleb Wilson, who looks
oh, right.
amazing. Um, and then we have Buzelis and we have Giddy. I feel like that is our core. Which we were in the trade for Julius Randle to get Claxton. Um,
Right.
so I feel like that's kind of a fun starting squad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
That
signed
is
Norm Powell.
oh yeah, I saw that.
It's interesting.
It isn't. Yeah, you're right. It's like who knows what that team's gonna be
I have
like.
no idea. It's a completely new look team, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's. This will probably be fun to watch. It's kind of reminding me of that first year when the Bulls they got Lonzo and they got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
DeRozan and they had Caruso and they had Sylvine. I'm like, this is like, how is this going to work? And it did for a very brief
What do you
period of
think
time.
about what do you think about DeRozan right now? Because I feel like what I saw today, there's like rumblings of him becoming a Sixer maybe.
I mean, he at this point in his career, I feel like he's. I got to be careful because I guess he's been known recently to go after podcasters for talking about. He went after the nerd sesh guys. I don't know if you saw that for talking about him, but yeah, I mean, he's he's in his twilight years. I feel like, and I don't think he's like. It's crazy that he's in the top. What is he in top 30 all time scoring now?
Yeah.
Um, that is wild to me. But he, I don't think you can count on to be a starter or anything like that.
Yeah,
But if he's a
for sure.
vet, like he's kind of what Paul George was doing for you last year.
Okay.
You might get
Is he
some
gonna get
couple of solid
suspended for
games.
25 games for doing ketamine?
I mean, we all should have seen the signs when he was doing like windmill dunks in pregame.
Yeah.
Paul George can't be doing that
Uh,
anymore.
no. Paul George, he finished pretty good. Yeah, after the suspension, he was a new
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I have high hopes for the Bulls, and I think I have. I'll be curious to watch Sixers play.
It's going to be
If
interesting. I mean, it's the
Yeah,
same in a certain way where you're like, what the hell is going to happen with this team?
even
I
if
mean, you
Embiid
alluded
doesn't
to it
stay healthy,
before. Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I don't
So
think I actually think like Jaylen Brown puts them in a pretty safe place where
yeah,
like if you don't have Joel for a significant amount of time, you can like weather it a lot better now.
sure. Yeah. I mean, all this trade stuff, everything in the off season also kind of really set something off in me where it's like I started to look at like the private equity stuff and like the this
Well,
it
that's the
really kind of
Boston story, right? Isn't
yeah,
that
and
what people are talking about?
it got me in a really weird headspace where I'm like, do I kind of hate sports right now? Like just like when I look at
Say
the
yeah, say more about it.
subscriptions and you have to watch look at the NBA schedule. It's like you have to watch on this channel on this day, this channel this day. You have to stream it here, and there's blackouts and some stations you have to buy into their package to watch their games. Like to
Totally.
watch the Bulls, I had to get CHSN, which isn't on cable, but it is a free cable channel. So I have to buy an antenna for my TV to watch it, or I can subscribe in the app. It's just they make it so
Yeah.
hard to watch sports, and it's all related, and it's starting to drive me crazy. I
Yeah,
just
you're
want to
not
enjoy
wrong.
fun things.
Yeah, the I feel like the NBA and the NFL are both guilty in recent years of being like, this used to be a pretty consolidated thing, and now it's everywhere. If you want to see everything, you better subscribe to these four different services.
And
And
I think the NBA kind of started this avalanche because in 2020 they let private equity owners become part of the fold, and no sports league did that until they did.
and there's so much more opportunity because there's
Yeah,
so many games. Like with
sure.
the NFL, they've had to like really work to expand the games to other days of the week and stuff just to like have a product to offer Netflix or whatever.
Sure. And they'll compete against each other. NFL is like, we got to have something on Thursday now. We got to have something
Yeah.
on, it's like sitcoms in the 90s were going head to head with each other. Like, we got to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
something
yeah.
here.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
It's really like yeah, it's definitely like late stage
Yeah.
capitalism, bad stuff.
And the Trailblazers owner is a huge piece of shit too. Just,
Really? I don't know
and
anything about them.
it's the way he's like, he just doesn't he very overtly has stated how much he doesn't care about the product or the fans.
Oh,
And
good.
he'll raise prices, he will do whatever it takes. He'll move the team if he has to. Like it's crazy.
They're owned by like Mr. Burns.
It's pretty much Thomas Dundon he is Mr. Burns in essence. But I still love basketball, dude, and I still love watching it, so I always will. So it's
Yeah,
just
it's impossible to resist.
yeah. Um
You love your subscriptions. All of your
yeah, I love
subscriptions
him.
are
I
great.
love him.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's say Sixers don't get LeBron. Do you feel the Sixers are a lock for the number one seed?
No, I can't say a
Yeah.
lock. I
Yeah,
can't say
sure.
that.
You've learned. You
Um,
know better.
but it's not impossible, which is also an easy thing to say. But I don't know. I think like I don't think there's anyone necessarily in the East that I'm like they're definitely top seed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because even
I'm with
even
you.
the Knicks, I don't I think they got worse. I
Yep.
mean, I know they've largely stayed the same, but I think like Andre Drummond is not a replacement for Robinson, you know.
Right.
No
And
offense, no offense to Andre Drummond.
I mean the Pistons might not even get to keep Jalen Duren. Like, what does that mean for them?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, I don't know what to
Maybe
say about the Pistons.
maybe the Pacers they get Halliburton back, but I know Halliburton's had so many issues with his injuries still lingering.
I know it's hard to feel confident that they'll get back to
Yeah,
what they were. I wish they
Magic
would.
or
I thought they were like
whatever.
really fun.
Yeah, I don't see a team that's instantly gonna, except maybe. I mean, Charlotte's still pretty good.
Yeah, that I mean,
That's
I don't
crazy to
know.
say
I
that.
don't know. It could be anybody.
It could be the
Just I
Bulls.
mean,
No, it won't be
not
the
anybody.
Bulls.
Yeah, not anybody, but um, you know, any of the top seven teams or something. Like
Right.
it feels pretty tight right now. I'm sure after
Miami is the other one, I guess, with
I don't
Giannis
believe in
now.
that team.
You don't believe Giannis
No, I
is
mean, no. I don't believe I think Giannis might have made a mistake.
what do you mean? They have 83-point superstar Bam Adebayo.
Yeah. Right. I that is true. He might do 84 this year.
Yeah. You need more free throws though. So
But yeah, I don't what do you think about the new look Heat?
I don't
What do
know.
you
I know
honestly
I know
think?
I know Giannis wants LeBron to come there too.
Not
And
happening.
I I could see it happening, but they would be terrible together.
Yeah, it's just I just don't believe in that lineup. I don't think I know I do think like
They got rid
Eric
of so
Spoelstra
many
is a great
people.
he's a great coach.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think that's a good enough roster for Giannis to come have his
No.
fun, you know?
That was the forever problem with trading Giannis is you have to empty your team to trade for
Right.
him.
And I
And
don't
now
I don't think he was worth the price, to be honest.
and I'm definitely not a Tyler Hero fan. And what's funny is like Wisconsin doesn't really care for him either, even though he's from there, because he was at Wisconsin Madison and he's like he left to go to Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
So they're
That's
all
funny.
mad at
I
him for
didn't
that.
yeah. I yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna be good. Maybe it will though. Like who knows?
I mean, I won't be upset with the Sixers.
Who do you think is gonna be number one if you had
I
to
think
guess
the
right now?
Sixers are pretty good, man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I hate to admit
They
it.
do need a better back. They need a backup center. They
You
need
do.
somebody.
Same
Uh,
same problem with the Spurs, which they definitely took steps on that this offseason so far. So
who did they get
um,
pick up? I don't think I saw.
they drafted a big dude who's obviously
Okay.
not going to jump in right away to be the number two. Um, but I'm trying to think. I think they did sign someone else. Uh,
Did they let go of Luke Cornett?
no, I
Or is
think
he
he's
still
still
kicking
there.
around?
He's still there. I have to double check. I don't know if they actually. Oh, they they fixed it. They got Tobias Harris. They're good.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. I saw. They're gonna be in really good shape.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Solid.
Oh my
Um.
God, I had such a good time. When Tobias was a Sixer, I was gentle with Tobias. A lot of people hated him. His contract was horrible, but there's this guy that works at like the local grocery store I go to, who's like a cashier, and he's from Detroit, and he wears Pistons gear like all the time.
Paul Reed.
Um, it's not, yeah, but and he always wants to talk about it, and I'll like engage him a lot of the time. And this was like when the Pistons were in the final round they played in this season. Um, and I remember asking him like what he thought was going to happen, and somehow Tobias came up, and he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "Dude, Tobias is amazing. He's going to carry us through the playoffs." Like, and I was like,
I
I was
love the
like, I don't know,
confidence.
so much confidence, and then
Yeah.
Tobias totally did a classic Tobias thing, and just was like a no-show
Right.
when they needed him. But I got a lot of satisfaction out of that. I didn't rub it in too
Yeah.
much, but um, Tobias.
We'll see. It'll be a fun season, man.
I mean,
Um.
I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
I'm sure we're not
The
done either. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more that's gonna happen between now and opening tip off.
yeah, it's just like the fact that we have Jaylen Brown on the team, it like still, it's surreal. It's like
Totally.
totally surreal.
Yeah. Um. All right, so the last thing I like to do is let's get to game time. It's let's play Build
Okay,
a
let me pull up
Band.
my notes here.
Let's have you build a band out of NBA players.
Okay, so I did. This is not the band that I want to build, but I just like had this kind of funny thought as I was like playing around with this, where I was thinking about like if you tried to build like an Oasis type dynamic in a band. I was thinking how like Josh Hart is a great Liam Gallagher and Jalen Brunson is a great Noel to his Liam.
They do have that dynamic where they love each other but they hate each other.
They hate, and Josh Hart's always saying like dumb, crazy stuff. Jalen Brown, he's like getting Josh Hart's thumb in his butt. And,
I
I
feel
just
like
think like,
Josh Hart also is kind of known to like respond to people on Twitter like Liam Gallagher
yeah,
does.
yeah, totally. So those not my real one, but I just like, I was having fun with that thought experiment before when I
Hmm.
was, okay. But the first thing that popped into my head, and I don't know why, maybe because I was like Derek White has to be the drummer of the band because he just to me he's got drummer vibes.
It's kind of energy, yeah.
He's really like he's very like a precise player, but I feel like Derek White he's like emotionless and kind of just like he always just looks like kind of locked in and like in his head a little bit,
Sure.
and he just reminds me of a drummer,
Does he
like
seem
a
like he's
really
like a classically trained drummer?
he well honestly he like reminds me a little bit of my friend Brendan who was in Everyone Everywhere, and like just personality like I don't even know Derek White. I'm saying personality. I've
No,
never
yeah, we all
I
know
don't
him well.
yeah, but just in like being like pretty like precise, intelligent, and like quiet, and like I I don't know why I get that vibe from Derek White, but like every time I watch them, he doesn't seem like a very outgoing guy,
Sure.
but he's
Okay.
like locked in. Um, all right, my next kind of fun one was I think Draymond Green should play bass, and it's
I buy it.
mostly because I think the band needs like a hothead,
Yeah. Got to
and I
throw
feel
the
like there's
dynamic off, a little unexpected.
someone who will get in a fight with somebody. Like if I want to go like the punk route, he is a perfect bass player because, he's probably not that good at bass, but he's just going to be a bad boy
Right.
and like stir the pot a little bit. Um I guess I'm just going this way. I was thinking about my man VJ on guitar. And what I was thinking about was one of the things I love most about VJ Edgecombe is how fearless he is. And I feel like every game he tries to do some sort of like ridiculous poster dunk, and he often misses or like blows it. But he just like always tries,
Totally.
and I want that energy in the guitar player. Like I don't he doesn't need to like play every right note, but he's gonna try to do some wild stuff.
I feel like I imagine him, he's kind of just got his head down the entire time he's playing and just kind of
Yeah.
lost in it.
I'm picturing like Neil Young and Crazy Horse record.
Okay. Nice.
He might even just play like one note for the entire solo, but make it feel like really heroic.
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
And my lead singer is Anthony Edwards because he's got it. He's got rock star energy.
Totally. He's
He
he I feel like he and Jimmy are the number one picks for singers that people do because it's like
is that yeah.
they just
It makes so
have
much
that
sense.
energy, yeah.
Yeah, he's so good in interviews. Like he's just like he's amazing.
And now he's going to be doing duets with LaMelo Ball. So
Yeah. Who also is like a kind of a good candidate for singer,
sure,
honestly. I
for
mean,
sure.
he looks like he wants to be a singer of a rock band.
Definitely. And
Uh,
they got, I imagine them doing like press, like interviews at like a music festival and just giving
yeah.
the most absurd answers.
I did briefly consider going like a Stephen Malkmus type route and picking Kawhi Leonard as the vocalist and
Who hates
like
doing interviews?
just like dry, sardonic, like I thought that could be kind of fun
Yeah,
if you want to go that direction.
definitely. Kawhi's good. And plus, I feel like Kawhi can do vocals and he can play an instrument too because
Yeah.
he's got to be playing some sort of stringed instrument with the hand size, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He can strum some wacky chords. Yeah, he can definitely he can play rhythm guitar. That's no problem. Maybe he
Love
doesn't
it.
even play it that much. He just kind of has it
Yeah,
hanging around.
yeah.
But
It's good.
uh
It's good.
so you can pick your poison on like the vibe you want.
There we go. Love it. That's good, man. Um, all right, well, I think that's all I got, dude. This has been fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's great.
Um, so we got new album out now. Anything else? Are you going on tour?
Yeah, I don't know when this is out, but we're going to the UK in August. We're playing a festival in Glasgow and doing like some touring around that. So that's in like mid-August. Um, and yeah, more stuff in the fall, but that's kind of like that's what's happening right now. But yeah, our record's called Zoned Out. It's out now.
It is. It is currently out at this very moment.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was really fun talking.
For sure. And that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much to Matt from Hurry for joining. Check out their new album, Zoned Out. It's out now, as we mentioned. But that's it. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to support indie basketball on Patreon, we're at patreon.com/indiebasketball. There you can get a new monthly playlist, exclusive tracks from our half-court sessions, discounts on merch, and much, much more. All the money goes directly to helping us make more half-court sessions, order merch, things like that. It all goes directly back into indie basketball. So anything you can do to help support is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, join our Discord. Great community. Follow us on social. We're at Indie Basketball on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. That's going to be it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.